What's up YouTube, it's Adam from I'm a Music Mogul, and today I'm going to show you how to create some dynamic effects in your sessions. This tutorial specifically is going to be about reverb and reverb on a vocal. Now this technique I'm going to show you really works well on vocals with some pauses in between the words. You'll see what I mean in a minute, and basically this will also show you how to clean up those reverbs, because sometimes when you just throw a reverb onto a vocal, it sounds good at the beginning, but then it just muddies up your track and really confuses your whole track with all this reverb. This technique will also show you how to clean up that reverb and make it flow in your song and or session. So let's get straight into the tutorial. The first thing I want to show you is obviously the dry track and how it sounds right here. So here we go.
Baby, 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 all right.
All right, so there's right there. So the first thing I'm going to do is add a reverb via an auxiliary track, send it out through a bus. So I'm going to click on my audio track, go to the send section and go to bus 1. And then I'm going to go ahead and just send this out at unity gain. So again, go to the middle right here, hold down the option key and click. That sends it out at unity gain. And then right here is my reverb track. So I'm just going to rename this to reverb. Then I'm going to go to the insert section and then bring in a reverb. So inserts, reverb, space designer, because I like the sound of space designer. And then I'm just going to bring in a really large reverb. So let's go to halls and let's bring in shirt, this one right here. And obviously, since this is on an auxiliary track and not on the actual track itself, we can bring up the reverb to full wetness level, which is max. And I'm going to go ahead and hit play and we'll hear how this sounds.
Baby, 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 all right.
Lower the volume.
Baby, 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 all right. Baby, 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 baby.
All right, so there's right there. Most people kind of say, oh, that's good right there as it is. But in reality, I'm going to show you how to clean up that reverb right now. So the next step we're going to do is bring a compressor on this reverb effects track. Since this is a dynamic effect tutorial, that is our dynamic right there. So we're going to bring in a dynamic, insert dynamic, and we're going to bring in a compressor, stereo. Just going to close this reverb right here. And then basically we're just going to leave this preset right here. And on our side chain, we're going to go to our audio 1, which is our vocal. So our side chain is going to be listening to our vocals. And if you guessed it right, the audio is basically going to control the reverb. So when our audio hits in, our reverb is going to go down. When our audio kind of kicks out and you have a pause in between the words, our reverb is going to kick in and kind of flourish in nicely. You're going to hear how that sounds right now a little bit without any adjusting any parameters right here.
Baby, 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 all right.
So let's go ahead and adjust some settings. You kind of want a slower attack. So I'm going to push that up a little bit. Your release, to get that kind of stretch out at the end, you're going to want to have a slower release. So we're just going to push that all the way up here to about something like that. Our threshold, we're going to adjust accordingly. So we'll adjust that once we hit play. And our ratio, you kind of want to limit it. So we'll kind of bring it up all the way to a 10:1 kind of ratio. Our knee is fine. Our gain right here, if you want to make up gain, it's okay. We can leave it as that. And like I said, our compressor threshold, we're just going to lower to the amount that we feel sounds good. So I'm going to go ahead and play around with the settings. Or sorry, rather just the compressor threshold setting. I'm going to bring this up a little bit.
Baby, 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 all right.
So right there, we're hearing a little bit too much reverb on the entire track. So I'm going to lower my threshold to take away some of that reverb when that vocal hits. So here we go.
Baby, 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 all right. Baby, 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 all right. Baby, 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 baby. Baby, baby, all right. Baby, 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 all right. Baby, 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 all right.
So right there, you could hear how when the vocal hits, the reverb goes down. When the vocal leaves, the reverb goes up. So if I go ahead and bypass those two, here's it on.
Baby, 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 alright.
And here it is off.
Baby, 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 alright.
And on.
Baby, 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 alright.
And then when you add a reverb to your track, it automatically starts to get a little bit more muddy and kind of fills in that lower end of the spectrum. And you kind of want to clean that up on your reverb tracks just so you can leave some room for your bass instruments. So on this effects dynamic track right here, I'm going to bring in another insert. I'm going to go to EQ, go to single band, and I'm going to bring in a low cut. And what that does is basically cut out some of the lows. So I'm going to cut out up to about the low mid range right there, so 300 hertz.
Baby, 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 alright.
So I'm going to go ahead and bypass it on and off, and you'll hear the difference between that low muddiness, and then when I hit it on, it'll kind of clean up that reverb a little bit.
Baby, baby,
it's on.
Baby, baby,
this is off.
Baby, baby, alright. Baby, 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 alright.
I can actually push that up a little bit.
Baby, 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 alright.
Alright, so there it is right there, how you create a dynamic reverb track on some vocals to make your reverb sound a little bit more in tune with the actual song itself. And I'm just going to go ahead and bypass the whole thing so you hear the difference between everything we did. So here it is with the dry format, just the vocals.
Baby, 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 alright.
Here it is with just the reverb.
Baby, 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 alright.
Then we're going to bring in the compressor.
Baby, 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 alright.
And we're going to bring in that low cut to cut out the muddiness.
Baby, 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 alright.
So as you can see right there, that creates a nice clean reverb effect on your vocals. If you have any questions on this, you can ask me in the comment section. And as usual guys, more great videos always coming soon, so remember to subscribe. Talk to you guys soon. Later.